Bette Midler, a force of nature who always played by her own rules. I always say 75, you're gold till 75. When you think about the beginning and you're like, let me try this thing, I never said, I'm going to try this. I said, I'm going to do this. For me, there was nothing else. I couldn't do anything else. This is what I could do, and I loved it with all my heart. That's Bette Midler, fierce, fearless, and unapologetically herself. Back in 1986, she made an entire movie crew wait 2 hours because she insisted on her character wearing a different colored wig. The director begged. The producer shouted. But Bette? She just smiled and said, "Trust me." The film went on to earn $71 million. That's how Bette has always done things, her way or no way. She has battled with directors, thrown wild parties, and terrified Hollywood's power players. And at 79, she's still not done. Her latest surprise on Broadway has everyone asking the same question. Is she crazy or brilliant? Bette Midler's story began on December 1st, 1945, in Honolulu, Hawaii. Born to Fred and Ruth Midler, she grew up in a small Jewish community within a predominantly Asian neighborhood. Her father worked as a house painter and held a job on a U.S. Navy base, while her mother stayed home, sewing to help support the family. They named her after legendary actress Bette Davis, but chose to pronounce it with just one syllable: Bette. Growing up in the working-class neighborhood of Aya, near Pearl Harbor, Bette often felt like an outsider. But the island's beauty, its rhythm, and its music gave her a sense of belonging. Even as a child, she stood out. In first grade, she sang Silent Night and won an award for it. Her mother saw a spark in her and encouraged it, nudging young Bette toward the world of performance. She devoured classic Hollywood musicals, studying the stars and mimicking their every move. By the time she reached Radford High School, Bette was a force of nature, loud, dramatic, and impossible to ignore. Her classmates voted her most dramatic and most talkative, and she graduated as valedictorian in 1963. That same passion drove her to the University of Hawaii at Manoa, where she studied drama. But the classroom couldn't contain her. After just 3 semesters, she walked away hungry for something bigger. Opportunity came in the form of a tiny, uncredited role in the 1966 film Hawaii, where she played a character named Miss David Buff. It was a blink-and-you'll-miss-it appearance, but the paycheck was enough for a one-way ticket to destiny, New York City. In 1965, New York was a mecca for aspiring actors, a city of dreams and desperation. But Bette wasn't just another hopeful face in the crowd. She clawed her way onto the stage, starting with off Broadway productions like Miss Nefertiti Regrets and Cinderella Revisited. Small roles, small stages, but she seized every opportunity. Then, in 1966, she landed a spot in the Broadway production of Fiddler on the Roof. At first, she was just another face in the chorus, but by 1968 she had stepped up to a featured role as Tzeitel. For 4 years, she sang and danced, learning the rhythm of the stage and discovering the magnetic power of live performance. But it was in a far less glamorous setting that Bette Midler's legend truly began. An underground gay bathhouse in the basement of the Ansonia Hotel, known as the Continental Baths. Barry Manilow played the piano while she belted out show tunes, torch songs, and bawdy ballads to a mostly male audience. It was a scene soaked in steam and sequins, a place where she could be loud, bold, and uninhibited. The crowd adored her, and she fed off their energy, testing the limits of her voice, her humor, and her charm. In that unlikely setting, Bette Midler was born, the divine Miss M, a woman who didn't just perform. She exploded onto the stage, a whirlwind of glitter, brass, and raw talent. And she never looked back. The birth of the divine Miss M. From bathhouse stardom to pop icon, the stage at the Continental Baths was steamy, loud, and alive, a subterranean sanctuary where freedom and flamboyance reigned. And in that pulsating underground world, a star was born, draped in over-the-top costumes and armed with razor-sharp wit. Bette Midler transformed into the divine Miss M. This wasn't just another persona. It was a revolution in sequins. Back then, places like the Continental Baths weren't just entertainment venues. They were safe havens. For a community that often lived in the shadows, this was a place to be seen, to be bold, and to be unapologetically oneself. And on that stage, Bette Midler found the freedom to be everything at once: raucous, soulful, seductive, and sincere. Barry Manilow's piano became her launchpad, but it was her volcanic energy that electrified the room. Her rise from that steamy basement to stardom wasn't just about talent, it was about presence. When she released the Divine Miss M album in December 1972, the world got a taste of what New York's underground already knew. Bette Midler was a force of nature. Produced with the help of Manilow, the album was a wild mix of old and new, nostalgic classics reimagined with a fresh theatrical twist. She didn't just sing songs, she performed them. The album climbed to number 9 on the Billboard charts, sold over 1 million copies, and went platinum in the United States and Canada. It delivered 3 major hits: Do You Want to Dance, Friends, and Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. That last one, a spirited revival of the Andrews Sisters' 1940s classic, became her first number 1 hit on the adult contemporary chart and soared to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. Critics saw something special in her. Rolling Stone's Robert Christgau called her a game-changer, a singer who blended humor, drama, and emotional depth with an ease no one else could match. Songs like Hello in There were raw, even heartbreaking, while Delta Dawn carried a weight that drew listeners in. Bette could be playful one moment and devastating the next, and it worked because it was real. But it wasn't just the music, it was the persona. The Divine Miss M was more than a stage name. She was a living, breathing alter ego, bold, bawdy, and larger than life. She was a queen of camp who spoke directly to the LGBTQ+ community, a group that understood what it meant to perform, to survive, to turn pain into brilliance. Midler didn't just sing to them, she sang for them. Her meteoric rise was undeniable. In 1973, she won the Grammy for Best New Artist, a moment she met with her signature blend of wit and unpredictability. By the time she accepted the award in 1974, she was already a sensation, an electric performer whose concerts were as legendary as her records. She didn't just stand on stage, she transformed it. Her shows were a riot of music, comedy, and spectacle, a blend of cabaret and rock concert that left audiences roaring for more. The Depression Tour in 1976 was a perfect example. It captured everything she did best: extravagant performances, outrageous humor, and moments of jaw-dropping emotional intensity. When HBO turned the show into The Bette Midler Show, it wasn't just a concert film, it was a cultural event. Her star power was undeniable, but Hollywood was about to discover what the rest of the world already knew. Bette Midler wasn't just a singer, she was a phenomenon. That realization came in 1979 with The Rose, a film that would become one of the defining moments of her career. Originally meant to be a direct portrayal of Janis Joplin, the film was forced to change direction when Joplin's family refused to grant the rights. But the creative detour turned out to be a blessing. Instead of a direct biopic, The Rose became a raw, fictionalized look at the chaos and heartbreak of fame, with Bette Midler at its core. Playing Mary Rose Foster, a rock star spiraling under the weight of addiction and self-destruction, Midler gave a performance that was nothing short of volcanic. She didn't just act the role, she lived it. Her voice soared, her heartbreak was palpable, and her charisma was undeniable. Critics were stunned, audiences were mesmerized, and Bette Midler earned her first Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. But it was more than just a movie. It was a statement. Bette Midler wasn't going to be confined to the persona of the divine Miss M. She could be wild, she could be raw, she could be heartbreaking, and she could do it all with a voice that could raise the roof or shatter your heart. With The Rose, she proved she wasn't just an entertainer. She was an artist, one whose talent knew no limits. From tragic ballads to unstoppable comedy, Bette Midler's unmatched versatility. When The Rose hit theaters in 1979, Bette Midler was more than just a singer. She was a revelation. Her portrayal of Mary Rose Foster, a self-destructive rock star with a voice that could shake the rafters, was a masterclass in raw emotion. Midler didn't just play the role, she embodied it, tearing through the screen with a ferocity that was both electrifying and heartbreaking. Critics couldn't look away, and neither could audiences. The film earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress and won her a Golden Globe. But it wasn't just the acting that made The Rose unforgettable. It was the music. The haunting title track, The Rose, became an anthem of love and loss, showcasing Midler's voice in all its soul-stirring glory. It wasn't just a song, it was a statement, and it earned her a Grammy. The film might have begun as a fictionalized take on Janis Joplin's life, but by the time the credits rolled, it was a testament to Midler's own artistry. Her success on the big screen wasn't a one-off. By the mid-1980s, Bette Midler had proven she was more than just a dramatic actress. She was a comedic powerhouse. In 1986, she starred in 2 back-to-back blockbusters that redefined her Hollywood image. The first was Down and Out in Beverly Hills, a razor-sharp comedy about a chaotic, wealthy family whose lives are turned upside down by a homeless man, played by Nick Nolte. Midler delivered a pitch-perfect performance as the neurotic, materialistic housewife, her comedic timing so sharp it could cut glass. The film was a smash hit, earning over $62 million at the box office and becoming Disney's Touchstone Pictures' first R-rated success. That same year, she doubled down with Ruthless People, a darkly hilarious romp where she played a kidnapped wife who turns the tables on her captors. Her biting wit and undeniable chemistry with co-star Danny DeVito made the film a runaway success, pulling in over $71 million. With those 2 films, Midler cemented herself as a comedic force, a star who could deliver laughs without losing her dramatic edge. But just when Hollywood thought they had her figured out, she turned the tables again. In 1988, Midler took on one of her most beloved roles in Beaches, a heart-wrenching drama that followed the decades-long friendship between 2 women, CeCe Bloom, an ambitious singer played by Midler, and Hillary Whitney, portrayed by Barbara Hershey. Critics may have dismissed the film as overly sentimental, but audiences saw something else, a story that spoke to the power of friendship, resilience, and unconditional love. Midler's performance was fierce and vulnerable, a perfect match for the film's sweeping emotional arc. And then there was the music. Wind Beneath My Wings, the film's iconic ballad, became a cultural phenomenon. Originally written in 1982, it reached new heights when Midler's soulful, heartfelt rendition topped the Billboard Hot 100, won Grammys for Record of the Year and Song of the Year, and turned Beaches into a box office triumph. To this day, Wind Beneath My Wings is more than just a song. It's a testament to gratitude, love, and remembrance, forever associated with Midler's soaring voice. Even as she conquered drama, Midler's comedic instincts never dulled. In 1987, she paired with Shelley Long for Outrageous Fortune, a wild comedy about 2 women who discover they're dating the same man. And instead of becoming rivals, they become unlikely allies in a chaotic adventure. The film was a surprise smash, grossing nearly $66 million worldwide, an impressive feat for a female-led comedy in the 1980s. What made Midler's performance even more remarkable was what audiences didn't know. She was pregnant during filming. Starting the movie at 3 months pregnant and finishing it at 6, she didn't miss a beat. Instead of slowing down, she turned in a performance filled with energy, fire, and her trademark comedic edge. This wasn't just star power, it was resilience, versatility, and an unshakable determination to turn every role, every song, and every moment into something unforgettable. Bette Midler wasn't just making a name for herself in Hollywood, she was rewriting the rules. From Double Trouble to witchy stardom, Bette Midler's comic mastery on full display. Bette Midler has always thrived in chaos. The more outrageous the role, the brighter she shines. Nowhere was this more evident than in the 1987 comedy Outrageous Fortune, where Midler's razor-sharp wit and fearless physical comedy were on full display. Midler, already a star by then, turned what could have been a straightforward comedy into a whirlwind of hilarity and high-stakes adventure. Playing opposite Shelley Long, whose reserved, almost prim demeanor was a perfect foil to Midler's fiery energy, she delivered a masterclass in comedic contrast. The film's premise was delightfully absurd. Two women, polar opposites, discover they're dating the same man and reluctantly team up to find him, only to uncover a tangled web of espionage. But the chaos wasn't just on screen. Behind the scenes, Midler was secretly pregnant, a fact she kept hidden with a clever mix of oversized costumes, including a giant, bright orange jumper that became an iconic look from the film. Her physicality never waned. In fact, she did many of her own stunts, including scrambling across cliffs, dodging trucks, and delivering slapstick comedy with the confidence of a seasoned vaudevillian. One unscripted fall in front of a truck was so perfectly timed that the director insisted it stay in the final cut. Critics couldn't get enough of her. She won the 1988 American Comedy Award for Funniest Actress in a Motion Picture and earned a Golden Globe nomination. The film's success, grossing nearly $66 million, solidified Midler's partnership with Disney's Touchstone Pictures and cemented her as one of Hollywood's most bankable comedy stars. But Midler didn't slow down. In 1988, she doubled the chaos and the laughs in Big Business, a film that gave her not one, but two leading roles. She played Sadie Shelton and Sadie Ratliff, two identical twins switched at birth, one raised in wealth, the other in rural simplicity. Opposite Lily Tomlin, who also played dual roles, Midler showcased her remarkable range. One Sadie was a ruthless corporate shark, the other a loud but lovable country girl. Watching Midler flip between these two characters with effortless precision was like watching a masterclass in comedy. The film was a logistical challenge. Early plans to use body doubles for twin scenes proved unconvincing. So, Midler and Tomlin were tasked with acting against themselves, performing their roles in split-screen shots that required perfect timing and chemistry, often with just thin air as a scene partner. The result was a zany, energetic comedy that became a cult favorite. Though Big Business earned a modest $40 million at the box office, it gave Midler another American Comedy Award for Funniest Actress, further solidifying her status as a comedic powerhouse. But the 1990s were just getting started, and Midler had one more iconic role up her sleeve, one that would turn her into a Halloween legend. In 1993, she took on the role of Winifred Sanderson in Hocus Pocus, the Disney film that cast her alongside Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy as the Sanderson sisters, three hilariously wicked witches brought back to life in modern-day Salem. For Midler, Hocus Pocus was a playground. Her Winifred Sanderson was theatrical, wicked, and delightfully over the top, a sorceress with a comically exaggerated sense of drama and a talent for spellbinding musical numbers. In one of the film's most memorable scenes, Midler's rendition of "I Put a Spell on You" at a Halloween party was more than just a song. It was a full-blown musical performance, complete with hypnotized townsfolk dancing themselves into exhaustion. Midler's infectious energy made Winifred both menacing and irresistibly funny. "She was a villain you couldn't help but root for," wrote one critic. But critics at the time were less kind. Reviews were mixed, with some dismissing the film as overdone and chaotic. At the box office, it was a modest success, earning $48 million against a $28 million budget. But Hocus Pocus wasn't done. Over the years, it transformed from a quirky Disney comedy into a cult classic. Home video sales soared, television reruns became a Halloween tradition, and an entire generation grew up cherishing the film as an essential part of spooky season. Midler's portrayal of Winifred became a pop culture touchstone, inspiring costumes, memes, and even a long-awaited sequel in 2022, where she once again donned the familiar green dress and towering red wig, casting a new spell over fans. Bette Midler wasn't just surviving in Hollywood. She was evolving, leaping from one iconic role to the next with the same wild, unstoppable energy that had made her a star. Whether playing a frantic twin, a cursed witch, or a down-on-her-luck diva, she remained fearless, ferocious, and endlessly fun to watch. And in an industry that often chews up even the brightest stars, Bette Midler proved she had a magic all her own. Bette Midler, a remarkable talent, has consistently broken Hollywood's mold. Following her standout role as Winifred Sanderson in Hocus Pocus, she collaborated with Goldie Hawn and Diane Keaton in the 1996 film The First Wives Club. This film, centering on three women seeking revenge against their ex-husbands who left them for younger partners, transcended mere entertainment to become a cultural landmark. Midler's portrayal of Brenda Morelli Cushman, a witty single mother wronged by her husband, showcased her sharp humor and authenticity. The chemistry among Midler, Hawn, and Keaton was palpable, stemming from their real-life camaraderie, which added depth to their performances. Their rendition of Leslie Gore's "You Don't Own Me" emerged as an empowerment anthem against Hollywood's youth-centric norms. The film's astounding box office success, grossing $181 million against a modest budget, revitalized the careers of its leads and emphasized women's enduring strength in the industry. In her Broadway beginnings with Fiddler on the Roof in 1966, Midler honed her craft, learning the nuances of live performance that would define her illustrious career for years to come. Bette Midler's enduring bond with Broadway persisted even after her rise as a film and music star. In 2013, she triumphantly returned to the stage in I'll Eat You Last, a chat with Sue Mengers, a daring one-woman show that showcased her ability to captivate an audience without elaborate sets or ensemble casts. Portraying the legendary Hollywood agent Sue Mengers, Midler's performance was an impressive display of wit and humor, garnering critical acclaim and recouping its entire investment within 8 weeks. Her career exemplifies resilience and showmanship, with performances that leave lasting imprints on audiences. In 2017, she took on the iconic role of Dolly Gallagher-Levi in Hello, Dolly, an endeavor that demonstrated her relentless drive. Her portrayal was a blend of charisma and explosive energy, leading to sold-out shows and shattered box office records. At 71, Midler earned her first competitive Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical, achieving this milestone in her Broadway career. She cherished every moment of her run, reflecting on it as one of her most rewarding experiences, thus reinforcing that age is no barrier to exceptional talent. Bette Midler has captivated Broadway audiences with her enchanting stage presence, vocal prowess, and deep emotional connection. Possessing a vocal range of over 2.5 octaves, she seamlessly combines powerful ballads with humor, establishing herself as a significant figure in live theater. Her personal life mirrors her career's extraordinary nature. Midler married Martin von Hasselberg on December 16, 1984, a marriage that has defied Hollywood's norms of transience. Their unconventional love story began in 1981 at a concert, but rekindled in 1983 at a club, leading to a spontaneous Las Vegas wedding just 6 weeks later, officiated by an Elvis impersonator for only $45, with no immediate wedding photos until years later. Despite their impulsive start, Midler and von Hasselberg have cultivated a resilient marriage grounded in mutual respect and humor. Midler humorously notes one of their secrets is sleeping in separate bedrooms due to her husband's snoring. Their differing personalities have sparked arguments, yet they have successfully maintained a strong bond through life's ups and downs, showcasing the depth of their partnership. Sophie's birth in 1986 shifted priorities for Bette Midler and partner von Hasselberg, leading him to leave his commodities trading career to support Midler and raise their daughter. Although no longer in the public eye, he played a crucial role in Midler's success, offering stability as she pursued her illustrious career filled with music, Broadway, film, and television. Midler, known as the Divine Miss M, continues to push boundaries, proving no dream is unattainable. Her recent performances, including in Hello, Dolly, have sparked excitement about her potential return to Broadway. She effortlessly navigates diverse roles, from her iconic turn in The First Wives Club to the fierce Hadassah Gold in The Politician, exemplifying her range and resilience at over 70. In The Politician, her captivating portrayal of a political operative resonated deeply with both audiences and critics, showcasing women's commanding presence on screen. Midler also shone in Gloria, where she embodied feminist icon Bella Abzug, capturing her spirit with passion and authenticity. Critics hailed her performance, affirming Midler's remarkable ability to bring historical figures to life, solidifying her status as a lasting force in entertainment. In 2024, Bette Midler starred in The Fabulous Four, a comedy illustrating lifelong friendships and second chances. Her portrayal of Marilyn, a woman rediscovering love after her husband's death, imbued the film with heart and humor. Featuring a strong supporting cast, including Susan Sarandon, Megan Mullally, and Cheryl Lee Ralph, it showcased that narratives focused on older women can be equally engaging as mainstream hits. Midler's chemistry with Ralph, highlighted during their rendition of I Can See Clearly Now, harkened back to their Broadway beginnings in Dreamgirls. Midler continues to redefine performance, with her career ever evolving. Whether in comedy, drama, or a return to Broadway, her future projects promise to be iconic, solidifying her status as a versatile entertainment legend. The prospect of her taking on the role of Mame Dennis in Mame has theater enthusiasts excited, especially following her Tony Award-winning performance in Hello, Dolly. Midler's charm and comedic flair could bring a fresh, vibrant interpretation to Mame, reminiscent of portrayals by greats like Angela Lansbury. Anticipation mounts as fans speculate how she might infuse her personality into classic numbers, fueling Broadway's excitement. Bette Midler's musical career is legendary, having sold over 30 million albums worldwide, ranking her among the best-selling artists of her time. She has earned 3 Grammy Awards, including Best New Artist in 1973 and Record of the Year for Wind Beneath My Wings in 1990, showcasing her talent through timeless hits like Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and The Rose. Equally impressive is her acting career, with 2 Academy Award nominations for The Rose and For the Boys, both of which garnered her Golden Globe Awards. Midler also triumphs in television, having won 3 Primetime Emmys, including one for her heartfelt performance on Johnny Carson's final Tonight Show. Her Tony Award-winning role in Hello, Dolly further cements her status in the entertainment world. Beyond performance, Midler is a passionate advocate for environmental conservation and LGBTQ+ rights. Her New York restoration project has revitalized neglected urban areas into community gardens, exemplifying her belief in the power of entertainers to effect change. Midler's multifaceted legacy as an artist and activist makes her a beacon of creativity and social responsibility, with anticipation building for her potential role in Mame,